The verdict of that case involving the two murders in Delphi, Indiana, as Richard Allen is found guilty by a jury. I want to put up just this post from Fox 59. Says the teenage girls were killed in Delphi in February of 2017. And after an 18-day trial, the jurors, they found Allen guilty. And this was the scene outside of the courthouse, as there were no cameras inside of that courtroom when the verdict was read. But this was some of the scenes as people left it. And after getting the case on Thursday, jurors in Delphi, Indiana, found Richard Allen guilty of murder on Monday. The decision meant the jurors found the state's evidence, including a bullet and expert match to Allen's gun, and his prison confessions compelling enough beyond a reasonable doubt to convict him. Of course, Allen was charged with 4 counts of murder from that 2017 deaths of Abby Williams and Libby German near the Mohan High Bridge. State police announced the arrest in October of 2022. Allen will be sentenced on December the 20th. And we're hearing some reaction from different people outside of the courtroom. We might hear from the families of both those two teenage girls, as well as family for Richard Allen, coming up a little bit later. But let's listen into some of this, just what was the reaction outside of the courtroom here from earlier in Delphi, Indiana.
Empathy for them. That's something that they're probably likely destroy. It might drive them closer, I don't know. But I have empathy for his mother especially, and his wife. But that's something that they will have to go through the healing process too. But we had got answers for our girls.
How are you feeling?
Like I could bust, but I won't do that out of respect. But if anything, I wish you guys all could have got to know them personally, the families, because they're so eachly unique, but so very kind, so very giving. There was a period of time when Becky was going through cancer, and many people did not know that. During that investigation, the 2-week period after the 2019 press conference, they asked the family and the communities not to talk about it, and that's during the time she was going through that. So that tells you the strength of this community and what they did for them and the family.
For everyone around us, will you say and spell your first and last name?
Sure, it's Sarah Osbrook, and that's comments.
All right, you're just listening in there to one of these people that knew the families of these two girls tragically killed, Abby Williams and Libby German, near this bridge, as the police announced the arrest in 2022. It came after there was a tip that was found within some of the testimony from some of the people on the ground in Indiana. And we're awaiting more reaction, more comments from people. Let's just continue to listen in. You can see Team Harper there with this shirt, wearing this shirt. Let's listen in to what he has to say.
We are a family here. You can go to a door and knock, and they will help you. There's nobody scared here. Until this happened, we have been waiting to take this weight off of us. We want to give thanks to the law enforcement, to the prosecutor, to the FBI's that which were pushed out of the system. But we thank you for all the work, everyone. The reporters, your days and nights of endless hours of putting into this. The German family, I want to give my gratitude that you have held yourselves up through this. God was here today. I wore my hat today. It says, God's light, Jesus loves. I believe that this town had a lot of love that was waiting for this day. And we are one again. Tonight we'll be able to go to sleep knowing that we're all safe again. Knowing that we can ask and look at one another again in the hands of love and help. The man is now going to be put behind bars for what he has done. And I believe that he is remorseful, but we don't want the remorse. We want justice, and today was the day, and we thank the Lord for everything and all of our officers and our hard duties and work. Everyone has put so much effort into this. The love and care that everybody has showed right now, loving one another, and the care of not even protecting him. He's not the victim. They were the victims, and we were victims also with it. We want to be released just as well as Abby and Libby. They're free now. They are free. And again, today is their day, and we've been saying it for years. Endless nights of sleep, we can now say that this is justice, finally.
Sir, do you mind saying something?
All right, you're just listening in there, talking to someone out there saying this is justice for those two little girls. And let's give you a little bit more context on what we're learning. As you can see the images of those two little girls tragically killed back in 2017. Allen actually became a suspect after he contacted police in February of 2017 to tell them he'd been on that bridge on the days of the murder. He spoke with the DNR officer, said he was in the area between 1:30 and 3:30 p.m., but the tip sheet was misfiled and incorrectly labeled. It wasn't until September of 2022 that a volunteer who organized the Delphi murder tips came across a report and brought it to the attention of the investigator. So we're still awaiting potentially more remarks here from different people outside of the courtroom. Let's listen in here to, I believe, a law enforcement officer. Not exactly sure what they're talking about, but let's listen into this comments from just moments ago.
Not lifted the gag order, so we're not going to be able to make any type of public statement at this point. We'll be looking forward to having something scheduled a month from now following sentencing. So with that, that's all that we're going to be able to say at this time. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, just a sense of what's going on. They said the gag order has not been released, so not a ton of comments coming from the state at this point. But that was just a moment ago as we're following this story out of Delphi, Indiana. 4 days of deliberation, some 18 hours. They were in there deliberating. They ultimately found Richard Allen guilty on all counts in this case. Let's go back out there as we're also hearing from this woman that knows the families there of these two teenage girls in this case in Indiana, of Abby Williams and Libby German. Let's just continue to listen in.
Our bucket list, but the group we started was on 2/14 of 2017, and I honestly thought we'd have somebody in a month's time, but it grew and is, you know, till we are where we are today.
And so just give me your initial reactions of this verdict today.
Peace. Peace. Peace for the families. Yes, one family is going to have a lot to deal with, but I have empathy for that family, but it's a different type of thing than I have sympathy and empathy for the two lost children.
And so what's next for this community? I know you technically don't live here right now, but you've been outside of the courthouse most days.
I have been to Delphi so many times, and I've never met a stranger here. And they've always been polite and out of their way to, like, accommodate, you know, people. And I hope it's a healing time, that maybe the law enforcement really took a beating over this, and there needs to be healing for them in the whole community. Now, that is my prayer now, is that the healing can slowly begin, and don't know what that's going to look like, but I know there'll be healing.
Do you think justice was served for Abby and Libby?
Absolutely, 100%.
And was that really the whole point for a lot of you standing out here, was for justice for Abby and Libby and not necessarily to see what was going to happen for Richard Allen necessarily?
I've been here since I wanted justice and what this looked like, but we live in a time where, as humans, we want instant gratification. And so many court cases are won with DNA. Well, not every case is a conviction with DNA. It's about a 50-50%. So this took some hard work and some hammering down. Kathy Shank, you can't thank her enough for finding that box. And that's how sometimes things work out. But the pain, what the family has went through for the past 5.5, even as recently as a week ago, when they were blaming the family members, that pain doesn't go away easily.
Any other questions?
I'll just keep going. I know you and I talked.
Yes.
How are you doing today? How are you feeling right now?
I'm good. I'm good, yeah.
When you heard that verdict.
All right, you're just listening in there, calling this justice there for Abby and Libby in Delphi, Indiana, as we're following this one very, very closely. Different people speaking outside. They might hear from the families coming up in just a little bit in this case, as we were detailing it for quite some time here on Live Now from Fox, as well as, of course, Richard Allen there, guilty on all counts as he's charged in the counts of murder from the 2017 deaths of Abby Williams and Libby German near that bridge in 2017. Of course, the trial started with the jury selection on October the 14th in Allen County. Due to the high-profile nature of the case and its prominence in central Indiana, a special judge decided to pull jurors from Allen County, a nearby county in northeast Indiana. Since the murders happened in Carroll County, a number of key witnesses and investigators lived near or around Delphi. The trial itself was held at the Carroll County Courthouse. The proceedings started with opening statements back on October the 18th. That same day, the state called its first witness, Abby and Libby's family members. The prosecutor and his team spent 12 days presenting evidence, including gruesome crime scene photos, making their case against Allen. The defense ultimately rested its case on November the 6th. As, of course, I mentioned it before, how Allen became the suspect, and the case had gone without an arrest for nearly 6 years up until 2022. Investigators asked Allen about his whereabouts and said he was on the bridge about 12 p.m. and left around 1:30 on that February day in 2017. He drove back. Investigators believe they spotted a security camera from the Hoosier Harvest store. Allen said he wore a Carhartt jacket, blue jeans the same day, and the clothes were wearing. His interview led investigators to apply for a search warrant. They went to Allen's house, searched his car, seized several items, multiple electronics, knives, and box cutters. The gun used was the same caliber bullet as the one they found at the crime scene. So some justice there in this case in Indiana that we're following from earlier. So